Hi, and welcome to the Insecure Chef. It's been a week or two, I believe, since we last saw you. I hope you had a nice holiday and your New Year's has started out safely. Today we're going to do a very favorite Chinese Asian dish, if you will. Basically, these are Korean dumplings. Now, some people call them pot stickers, some call them Asian dumplings, call them what you will. The Italians might call them raviolis, but nonetheless, today we're going to be doing that. These down here, my wife will go down the ingredient list in a minute. These have been already prepared earlier. I had made some of these some weeks ago, and I decided to finish off the batch I had. I didn't have enough to make 10, which is what I wanted to make tonight, so I picked up a box of frozen Asian dumplings. That's fine, whatever you're into. The important thing for today is not so much making the dumplings, but it's making the very tasty and delicious sauce that goes on them. So, my wife will go through the list of ingredients that you'll see there, and I'll just read them off quickly to you. We have 10 frozen dumplings. As I said, these are a mixture, I think, of chicken and vegetable, and probably pork and shrimp. But again, anything is acceptable. Next to that, you have the Korean chili paste. You can find that in any Asian store and most big shopping center grocery stores. Then you've got cayenne pepper. Then you've got white sugar, followed by oyster sauce, corn syrup, soy sauce, minced garlic, and ketchup. And then you'll see to the right of the ketchup, you've got scallions, or green onions, if you will, and sesame seed, which will come as a garnish at the end of the preparation. So, right now, my wife will join me on this side, and I've already put those ingredients here, and I'm just going to mix them up now, okay? And you know, it'll be a nice thick slurry because you've got all these good ingredients in here. So I'm going to give that a nice mix. I can tell from here it smells delicious. And, you know, understandable based on the ingredients. This is going to have, you know, a spice kick to it. You can certainly change the ratio of the heat products versus the non-heat products, or leave them out altogether. But this is more a standard type of sauce that you would get at a Korean or Asian style restaurant. So, all right, now that that looks up and mixed fairly well, and again, make sure you do it because the corn syrup and such will tend to stick to the bottom of the cup. So we'll get that all done. Okay, now we're going to move over to the stove. I'm going to take about a tablespoon. You don't want to get too greasy and too oily. About a tablespoon of canola oil or vegetable oil. You don't want to use olive oil here because we're going to be working at fairly high heat, and sometimes the olive oil has a tendency to burn at certain temperatures. But you can try it, just don't get it too hot. So I'm going to turn that up right now. Okay, and we'll give that a minute. And while it's doing that, I'm going to take the dumplings, and while the pan is really still quite cool, I'm going to put the dumplings in the pan and use them to spread the oil around the bottom of the pan. And you know, you can easily do this at this point. Now these dumplings are indeed frozen, or certainly at least partially frozen, and the pan of course is not very hot yet, so you can certainly do this safely as long as you don't dilly-dally too much. All right, get those in there. And if you know, if it's obvious that you don't have enough oil in there, then by all means you can add another teaspoon or whatever. But you don't want to make this too oily or greasy. That's the case with most foods. So, just going to let that do that. And once this starts to heat up, we'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, they're browning up very nicely. Try to keep the heat reasonable. You don't want to burn them over. And we'll be back in just a few moments when they're all done, and we'll complete the recipe. Okay, so the dumplings now are almost to my satisfaction. This is all very personal taste, obviously. How much you want to do, how much you want to crisp them up or whatever. But I'm about ready now to complete the recipe by adding the sauce. The only thing that is optional for us is whether you want to use a paper towel or something very quickly and very carefully to maybe remove some of the excess oil that might be in there, okay? Again, you know, be very careful. Obviously the pan is hot, but I'm just doing a quick wipe up like that, okay? There we go, that's fine. And now I'm just going to kind of line these fellas up somewhere like that. I'm going to take my sauce, give it again a quick stir. And I'm going to pour it over. And I'm now going to turn the heat off. And make sure that all the dumplings are coated nicely. You can even move this off the heat if you want, like so. Boy, wish you could smell this. It's delicious. Okay. And now I'm going to start to plate them. Like so. And as I mentioned earlier, this sauce will have a bit of a kick to it for some people. Other people will say, no, it's fine, whatever. But you can obviously, based on the recipe that'll be on site, you can obviously vary the chili paste and the cayenne pepper, as those will be the culprits of heat. All right. Alrighty there. One more lift. And of course, you could take the sauce and put it further on, depending on how much you want. Okay, we'll take that. I've now got my chopped green onion here. How much to put on, of course, is up to you. It's a garnish, but it also has a very, very nice flavor. As anybody who's used it before, green onions add a very nice dimension to the dish. And then once the amount of onions are to your satisfaction, we'll take a little sesame seed. Okay. As soon as I can figure out how to open it, and we'll finish it off like so. So, there you go. Here's your final dish. And again, if you want to make your own dumplings, there's plenty of recipes, including my own. And otherwise, frozen works just fine. And you can change the makeup from a boring pan-fried dumpling or boiled to a nice Korean dish. So, from my lovely wife Regina and I, we wish you a very, very good new year. And thanks for watching, and we'll be back again shortly. Take care.
Happy, healthy New Year.